NBA Summer League wrapped 3 weeks ago, but that doesn't mean the players stopped hooping. Let's recap the best of summer runs this weekend. Quick question, has anyone been louder than Dejounte Murray this offseason? What? Got a lot to say.
Well, Dejounte Murray also is from Seattle, right? And he's the king of Seattle with Jamal Crawford gone. And so when you look at this beef that he has right here with Banchero, to me, I think it's telling the number one pick in the draft, who's also from Seattle, this is my town. We bring in a lot of people in the NBA, but this is me. You're going to have to get this young fella. And that's, in a weird way, and Matt, I think, could understand this. That's respect, too. I see Matt in the San Francisco Pro-Am, and they're actually in their playoffs tonight. They're in their finals tonight, so go check that out at Kezar. But it gets heated, especially when you got somebody from your hometown trying to take your spot. So right now, I think Dejounte Murray's trying to tell the number one pick, I don't care who you are, I am Mr. Seattle.
I love it, and I think shout out to my brother Jamal Crawford and everyone who's came out of Seattle. So what I like is Seattle's always been great at the OGs giving back to the youngsters, helping them, giving them that hand and that support. I hope this is just competitiveness and letting young fella know you still got some more to do, but until you get on to my level. It's been a hot summer for Dejounte. He's one of my favorite young players, obviously signing in Atlanta now, but I think this is good for basketball, and I hope it just stays as, hey, there's still, there's levels to this, and it doesn't turn to anything different because you see the back and forth on social media, and you just hope it keeps like a OG young fella type of relationship, because that's what made Seattle so great in the past is the older players have always put their hand back for the younger players and showed them the ropes.
Well, we did
I'll tell you this real quick. I got into it I had a question with Banchero during the NCAA tournament, and I said, well, what's the best city for basketball in terms of producing players? And he said, Seattle. And then he started adding like Tacoma in there and Yakima, like, stop it, young fella. I said Seattle. I didn't say the state of Washington. Right. Cali's number one.
Come on, let him know,
but,
Mark.
I'll give you respect on Seattle.
Well, and I feel like you guys are being a little kind because the exact words for Murray were, that's who y'all came to see. It's a man's league, too soft. So you understand how Banchero was a little bit upset. I mean, those are some pretty strong words.
Going to have to come out and prove it, though. You know what I mean? I think, obviously, and I think that's going to lead into the next thing, but that number one draft status above your head, you're going to get tried. I mean, this one draft alone, we felt like any three guys could have went number one. So there's always guys behind him that feel like they should have went number one. And then you see as Dejounte Murray, this is his welcome to the NBA type situation. Like, everyone guns for that number one spot. But the one thing about Paolo is he's a big body. I know he's very talented. I know he'll be up to the challenge. But this is not going to be the last time we see people coming at him like this, and I think he knows that.
Well, and what's different from the old days of trash talking, right? Like, he makes a great move here, talk some trash going to the bench, but now it goes to social media, and you get to go on, and this conversation has, don't you just leave it on the court?
This is the new era. This is where trash talking goes now, and this is where most of the trash talking takes place is on social media. Like I said, in Mark's area had to be face-to-face. You used to have to say something to the person when you seen them. This time, it's social media. But again, I hope it just stays as kind of OG, young fella. This is the ropes instead of turning into something different.
Hey, and to Matt's point, Seattle is kind of got a fraternity now that's special. They have a group of young players in the NBA and former players like Jamal Crawford, Isaiah Thomas, they all mentor each other and they bring each other up. So in social media world, it could get ugly. It's like a invisible gang that goes at each other back and forth.
Right.
But they mean too much to that next generation of kids coming from Seattle that they can't let this be more than anything but some simple trash talk.
Hopefully Jamal's called a meeting of the mind. Jamal Crawford runs the show out there, so hopefully he'll bring them two together and make sure it just stays on the court.
Well, that wasn't
don't have Doug Christie show up either now.
Oh, goodness.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.